for those who will be tuning in to check this interview out, I'm sure it's going to be an amazing interview. I'm here with Rod Sickler, and I read so much good things about you, and I really don't know where to start. And I'm sure when I introduce you as such, I'm gonna leave something out because you got your hands in so much. You got
I'm like you, Jimmy. I'm
I know,
like you.
right?
I get bored easy.
Absolutely. You gotta keep going, gotta keep evolving.
Got to keep
So
grinding. Got to keep hustling.
got to. So
Yeah.
I got entrepreneur, I got philanthropist, I got director, I got teacher, I got a master hairstylist. I know I'm missing something. So I'm gonna just go ahead and just allow you to introduce yourself and all your endeavors.
Yeah. Hey, Jimmy, thanks for having me on with you. My name is Rod Sickler, and I guess you'd say I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've actually been a hairdresser for 45 years. I'm a barber and a cosmetologist both. I own three salons. My largest is a 6,000 square foot salon in Champaign, Illinois. I'm in the 217 area code my whole life, 217, right here where the University of Illinois is. So I have three salons. I just recently, almost 2 years ago, opened up my first school. So it's a cosmetology, barber, and nail school. With that being said, we are just doubling the size of that. It's all in one complex. I have 9,000 square feet, all right here in Southwest Champaign. So it's all I have a salon and school all together. And then also I have a company called Red Hot Productions.
Hmm.
And Red Hot Productions is where I do a lot of my philanthropy work. I do a lot of shows. I've done Rod Sickler's Red Hot Winter for 22 years. And for 22 years, we've been bringing awareness and raising money for different charities. Over the last probably 5 years, I've been working with a company that's big up in your area called Aunt Martha's Health and Wellness. We have an Aunt Martha's Health and Wellness. It's a federally qualified health center here in the state of Illinois. It's one of the top here in the state and works a lot with DCFS. And we're currently in the process of opening a health and wellness center here in Champaign. We predominantly serve the underserved community. Over 90% of our patients are either Medicaid or uninsured. So we do integrated health care. We do anything from general health to women's health to mental health. We do care coordination, help you get rides. It's just a wonderful organization. I'm proud to be a part of that. I do community outreach for them as well as my show Red Hot Winter has been for them as well as some other things. And then actually my largest company is a company called ID Hair North America, which is a product line I distribute throughout the United States. And it's a hair product line. We have over 400 SKUs that we bring in, and we're currently online at idhairpro.com. ID Hair Pro, that's ID, the two letters hairpro.com. And we import from Denmark. We've been in that for just over 8 years, and we're just really getting our online presence up this year. So I've been working with that all day today, as well as teaching some of my students some advanced cutting today. And then also I've produced many concerts, over 70 for the University of Illinois. I do concerts before games. I work the with the DIA, the Division of Intercollegiate Athletics. Work with that, and then also I work with the Student Affairs Division here at the U of I, and I've done concerts for them as well, bringing like the incoming freshmen in, and actually we were probably about the only place in the country that was producing concerts when COVID first hit. We're doing them outside at Memorial Stadium. We're doing them masked and safely, and it's an alternative to work with the students as a safe alternative to indoor partying. That's what we did. We produced concerts for them. So that's a little bit what I do. We also have at my salon, my big salon is 6,000 square feet. We have, besides having 15 hair chairs, we have a full spa, nails, but we also have a doctor's office attached to that, another 1,500 square feet, where we also do a weight loss clinic. We're currently doing weight loss where we do shots. We do the compound version. We do semaglutide shots, tirzepatide shots to help people with weight loss. We've had a lot of success. I've recently, in the last 4 months, I've lost almost 30 pounds. So
Yeah, that's
we
great.
also have a personal training studio. We do DNA testing. We just do, Jim, we try to do a little bit of everything. I'm always looking for the next best thing to do.
Yeah, that's great, man. I would say What a way to use your 24 hours, you know? What a way to
Yeah,
use it
thanks.
for real.
I work a lot. When I'm not working, my hobbies are I love to play golf in the summer, and I like to do a little. I do a lot of community theater work as well in the winter time, and then of course my big show, Red Hot Winter and production work, starting January through the end of February. Those 2 months are focused. I mean, I'm already working on the show for next year, but we're also working on that. Let me close the store 1 second.
All right, take it down.
We're also right now currently working on a tour for my Red Hot production company as far as touring. So my shows, the best way to describe it, it's like Vegas variety act in that we do. Last year I had 6 acts from Vegas in, so we do a lot of circ acts. We do a Vegas clown, which is when we say Vegas clowns now, it's more like you'd see at the show Absent, where the clowns now aren't like red nose and funny hair. They're like filthy. They're like comedians. They're like filthy comedians. So we do that. Then we also have burlesque. We do speed art, speed painting. I do a hair show. And then I had last year over 40-member band in the show. So we do tons of music and looking right now to take it on tour, either number one in the circ world, which it works really well as an alternative to a new type of circ act,
Uh,
working with that, or they'll also it works very well for philanthropy as well.
yeah, that's pretty
So that
cool.
we
And
can go in. I work with a company called Mega Events. We've worked together for over a decade, and between the charity work that they have done and the charity work I've done, we're at about I think close to $35 million raised at this point
oh
over the
yeah,
last decade. So that's nothing to I'm certainly not ashamed of that number.
oh yeah, for sure. You know, and it's good that you giving back to such a passion. But speaking of passion, just a little background. My mom is also a cosmetologist. She's been a cosmetologist, man, um, my whole life since I think she was like 15 or something. She could tell you better than me. But yeah, and it's such a evolving career path. Just on a surface level, you might think it stops at hair, but it opens
Yeah.
so many doors. And over your time in it, you say you've been in it 45 years, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, and
Yes, I have.
over time, so open so many doors for you to help others, to partner with
Well,
others. You know.
Well, it's really led to everything. All my business endeavors is simply from here. I'm not a college graduate. I've just gone to cosmetology school, barber school, got my teacher's license in both. But all my business acumen really comes from hair and owning. Opened my first hair salon when I was 24 years old. I'll be 63 in a month, 6 weeks I think. I'll be 63. So I've been at it a long time, but it's just the connections you work with that. Also, I've done hair shows throughout the world. I've done hair shows in 17 countries, in every major city in the U.S., including Chicago, where you're at, and several shows up there. And I just judged a big event at New York Fashion Week here earlier this year. So, I mean, the things for me that hair's done for me, not only in art but in business, has just, I mean, I just can't trade that.
Absolutely. So go back to the early days of how did you first even get into this passion, being from Southern Illinois.
Yeah, I think what I really never wanted to be a hairdresser. I still don't think I do. I think when I grow up, I want to be a famous actor, but I think maybe my time's running out. And
Hmm.
so I went to hair school first for 2 reasons. I played a lot of sports when I was young, and I had a coach who was also my Sunday school teacher who I really looked up to. My father died when I was young, so kind of he was a kind of a male adult figure in my life that I could look up to that mentored me, and he was also my barber. So I think that led, and then once he got out of barbering, then the next guy I went to, he was a really younger, cool, really hip guy. He was smooth. He just was one of the coolest guys I knew. I wanted to be like him. So those guys kind of encouraged me to go to barber school. So I thought I'd go to barber school first Then after I got to barber school, I thought of going back to college and then get my theater degree and pursue an acting career. But I never went back to do that. Instead, I stayed with hair and made a living at it. And then for the last almost 30 years, I've worked in community theater, creating. I used to do my fundraiser, Red Hot Winter, started as a theater fundraiser years ago in Rantoul, Illinois. That was in the year 2002, I believe. So it started as that because I think at that time I was either on the board or president of the Rantoul Theater Group. So that's how we started that. And then, I mean, it's truly evolved. I mean, my first year show, I think tickets were maybe $10. My budget was maybe $5,000 to do the show. Now, I mean, tickets start at 125 and go up to like $350. Tables go up to $5,000 for a table of 10 and sponsors. And, the show's, a six-figure production now to get it done. And, plus, to do that, bring awareness and raise money. And, more than anything, it's when you can raise awareness for different charities. Many years, I'm a big animal lover. I love dogs, I love cats, and I just love animals. They don't have a voice, right? So for years before I worked with Aunt Martha's, we did for a charity called Hospice Hearts, which takes in animals that are mature and finds homes. Instead of putting them down, they find homes for them. So not only have I raised money, but more importantly, raised awareness. You can get marketing out for a small organization like that in 6 weeks more than they can do in 5 years. So, I know I've hopefully saved a lot of dogs and cats over the years from bringing the awareness to what that charity was all about.
Yes, that's great work. And speaking of Aunt Martha's, I worked through Aunt Martha's for a summer job program when I was like 16, going on 17. And through
Wonderful.
them, I seen my first because they were right down the street from where I went to school at. So through them, I seen my first up close outside of like my mom doing hairdressing and being a cosmetologist, but throughout that she worked in other fields as well. But full time, hands on, I worked at this donut shop called Daddy-O's Donuts, and that was
Yeah.
my first place I seen a serial entrepreneur, someone who was sticking in there, and sticking in there, just doing what he loves every day, delivering donuts. He was so passionate about it, making news headlines and everything. But unfortunately, he passed away that same summer I worked there. He passed away. It was crazy because we were spending the day before he just introduced fried Oreos and funnel cakes.
Oh,
So he was passing them out for free. It was everything
ah,
smiles and laughter. Then he passed away right before that. I forgot his age, but his name was Adam Bruce. And I learned a lot from that. And pretty much I'm saying all that to say how do you just manage your own 24 hours? This isn't, it might sound, it might sound normal to you because you're in the fold now, but a lot of us, a lot of people out here, they need to hear stories like this to know how we could push
yeah.
forward.
You want some sage advice from an old man? That's what you're saying?
I don't even
Is
think you old. If you never
yeah.
told me your age, I wouldn't have guessed nowhere
You
around
know
that,
what? I'm young at heart, and I'm
Yeah,
surrounded with a lot of younger staff members, which I love. Young students.
yeah.
I have
I
a
don't
beautiful young wife, and I'm very blessed.
Yes.
Here's what I would say about serial entrepreneurship, about any entrepreneurship, is that, and I'm telling you, I've been an entrepreneur now for almost 40 years, Jimmy, and every day I wake up, I know it's going to be a grind every single day. Every single day I go to work knowing I got to give it my all. I say business is hard every single day. But
You said
the old
business is
adage,
hard.
hard every day.
Oh, hard.
Business is
Okay.
hard every single day. It's difficult every single day. I never take it for granted. I wake up every morning and just, ask for my blessings, ask for my business to be blessed. Uh, and I just go and work. I'm working 6, 7 days a week all the time. I look at business. When you open a business, it's like having a child. When you first have a baby, it's all the time, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, right? And it requires so much of your energy. As your business gets older, it's like your child still needs you, but he needs you or she needs you in different ways, right? They need
Right.
you to perhaps maybe, they need more knowledge when you first open a business. I mean, it's like blood, sweat, and tears. You're working all the time. And and one thing I knew that I would say is if you open your own business, you need to find something that you like because you're going to have to work it. I say I'm just going to work a half day today. A half day is 12 hours, right? So I'm just working a half day, not a 15 or 16-hour day. I like those half days where you don't work so much, and you're just going at it all the time, and you got to grind every single day. So if people think, oh, I want to open up my own business because I want to be my own boss, and oh, I want to have all this free time. You're probably doing the wrong thing, because opening your own business means you're going to create jobs for other people. I mean, I don't know. I think I have probably 60 or 70 people on the payroll every week. Can you imagine what a responsibility that is? That's hard, when you have to make decisions for other people that affects other people. And it's just really a challenge. I love my employees, but employees, it's when you have employees, it's a different responsibility. And that's one of the key aspects to your business. Your business isn't really the building, although it has to be nice. Your business is your employees, and it's also your customers. So I just think, you got to strap in every day and be ready for whatever faces at you. Some days are great days. Some days I win. There's one day last week, I think it was a week ago, Wednesday. I just said, you know what? I lost today. I just lost that day. It was a tough day. I just got kicked in the chin every time I turned around. But then the next 2 days were good days. So that's all you can do, one day at a time, and know that if you open your own business, you need to be ready to work hard.
But let's hold it on that note right there of that those days where you lose or you feel you lost. That
Uh-huh.
those losses, certain losses can run people. I mean, when I say people, yourself, they can run people straight away. Run like everything you work for, everything you love with what you're doing, it runs you right away from it. And it's a saying that goes, why give up today when tomorrow might be the day I win? But that mindset that can go straight out the window on those tough losses days. You know what I'm saying? Those days you took a tough
Yeah,
loss.
you
So
got to have mental fortitude.
yeah.
You got to have strong work ethic, and you're right, Jimmy. You said it. Not every day you win. It's not. It's not. It's how you take it and how you dust yourself off, how you get up, brush yourself off, and go to the next day, man. There's no rearview mirrors in business. You got to just keep looking forward and just keep grinding, keep grinding, keep grinding.
Absolutely. Now, I read, I believe the awards, correct me if I'm wrong, was it like Sexy Hair Award or something like that?
Yes. Yeah, I worked for a company called Sexy Hair before
Yeah.
I opened my own brand, which is ID Hair North America. Sexy Hair is a top 10 brand in North America. So I worked for them for 16 years, and I won the Master Artist of the Year award twice, I believe. And then maybe I'm the only one that ever won it. I won the Lifetime Achievement Award as for what I do as a stage performer, as a stage artist. I would not only perform the shows but direct them and help produce them. And Sexy Hair is, even though I no longer work there, I'm very thankful to what they've given me in my life, and the travels that I saw. I saw the world. They paid me to see the world and do my job, and the great stories that I had. And before that, I worked for a company called Malibu Sea, and it's interesting. The CEO of Malibu Sea was my former boss before she was the big boss, and she's still my friend, and she still gives me business advice. And that's one thing, is I'm trying to grow my own company. I've got friends out there that I can reach out to, that connections. And that's one thing I'd say about business too. Don't burn any bridges along the way, because you never know, you're going to have to walk over that bridge again, and someone will be there to give you that hand up. So you know what? I know business is competitive, and be a great competitor. It's like sports. Be a great competitor. Compete hard, win. I want to win every day. I want to win every battle. However, you can do it with grace. You can do it with confidence and humility at the same time. You don't need to step on other people to get to where you are. That the road might be a little longer doing it the right way, but the journey lasts a lot longer when you do it like that.
I agree, and I'm 100% with you on the don't burn any bridges along the way movement, because I feel like we're in this era where I like this how I like to break this era down. Me and you, we are two human beings, right? But me and you, we
Yes.
both we both do things that come along with the profile. You know what I'm saying? We a track record, a digital footprint, whatever you want to call it. And sometimes these things can build up. However, if it helps your character, sometimes it feeds your character, sometimes it feeds your ego. Now, if it's feeding your ego, you might get to a point where you feel like you don't need anybody. But sometimes your character is telling you need somebody, and then your ego is fighting. "Nah, I don't need anybody. I got this, I got that."
Yeah.
Sometimes your ego blinds you to the fact you didn't get this stuff on your own, but might give you that like you got it on your own. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know, Jimmy, every day, whatever you believe in, whether it's God, whether it's the universe, whatever you believe in, I know what I believe in, and I thank him, whatever him, her, whatever you believe in. I
Yeah,
think, I thank my person every day for just every blessing he's given me, and that I wouldn't have anything without those blessings. And
absolutely.
you know what? God can teach you some very humble lessons along the way. He taught me some. And I think part of getting older and being in business is, you know what? I just try to be a better person now than I was last month. And I
Yeah.
certainly want to be a better person now than I was a year ago. Heck, I look back at myself probably when I was your age, and I probably didn't even like that guy now, Jimmy, but that's about the journey. That's about life. And that's about, being a better human being, being a better boss, doing what you can, whatever talents you have. Sure, do it for yourself and be prosperous. People, I don't think our creator, whoever you believe in, wants us to be poor. I think you have to be prosperous to help other people. But at the end of the day, it all could go away really quickly. My dad was a hard worker, workaholic. I think I got some of that from him. But he went to work one day and got injured and could never work again. So I saw it taken that quickly from him. And because he was crippled, and because of that, he got hit by a car um,
Mm.
because he couldn't move quickly and killed that way. And you know, I grew up young. I saw that happen. I grew up young, knowing that it all can be taken away from you that quickly. So I try to cherish every moment. I try not to have much of a bucket list. I try to do all those things, but every day I want to wake up with courage. I want to wake up with great confidence. People count on me to make right decisions and to lead. I don't want to be a good boss ever. I want to be a great leader. I don't even like to boss people. I don't like to discipline people. Sometimes you have to, but I don't want to be a person that wants to discipline anyone, right? I just want to be a great leader and be thankful for every day that I have that I can do that.
Absolutely, man. And it's great. That's why I love sharing these stories with people, because those beginnings of what we see or where we come from, you just look back and you totally understand that these moments made you for better or worse. Like you said, if, back when you were my age, you probably not like the person that you were, you
No,
know.
I don't. I don't.
Yeah, and that's something, 'cause I think to myself a lot about the future, but I'm a firm believer when I do think of the future, I gotta understand that the steps that I make today are the future. There's no given time, you know what I'm saying? No given time to claim a future, but other than today. So
Yeah.
what do you feel like was the turning point for you when you decided, like, you was probably already in your career as a cosmetologist or a boss or an owner, but what moment of your career was the moment you was like, there's no looking back?
Oh boy. I think for me, when I opened my big salon here, and it took every last dime. I had about, I think, 20 plus employees, adult employees that were working here. And my wife, friend of mine now, but we're divorced. Um, my wife at the time, uh, we had every dime. We were so poor that she couldn't even afford to come to my salon salon to get services done because we couldn't afford it. And no, I didn't want to fail. The only way I could not fail was just working sometimes 15 hours a day and then getting up and doing it again the next day, day after day after day, because I thought one thing that I know I'm certainly not the most talented guy. I'm very certainly not the smartest guy, absolutely not the most handsome guy, not the most well read, not the most anything. But one thing that I knew I could control in my life was my work ethic. And the more I worked, it seems like the luckier I got. And now to look back on that, and I started renting, it was 3,000 square foot, and now we have 9,000 square foot under one roof, and we keep expanding. And one thing I would say, even at this point, at my point, I know most people would be retired at this point, but I plan on maybe semi-retiring in about 10 years and going down to 40 hours a week at that point when I semi-retire in 10 years. And but one thing I never believe in, I don't believe in the word success. I think I would never really use that. Sometimes you need that to maybe quantify something,
Yeah.
but I don't believe in success because anything I've done okay, there's 10 things I could have done better. I believe that I've grown my companies a lot. I believe that, but I look back, there's hundreds of things I could have done better. So, and I still remember the day that I learned humility. The one day on stage, I learned humility. And when I had a great show and then went out for the second show of the day, I had a huge crowd rocking. I went out there like 10 people in the audience. And at that point, I still remember that. And that was probably, I don't know, over 20 years ago. I still remember that moment. And so, I think I struggled with ego when I was your age, when I was young, which I don't know how old you are, but I can guess,
Take a guess.
your age-ish. You're late 20s to 30s, right?
I'm 27. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So so I can remember, I struggled with ego when I was that age, and now it's like, and there's a fine line between ego, arrogance, and conceit, and confidence. So I absolutely want to be confident because it takes that to be a good leader, but the rest of the stuff I've learned hard lessons along that way. And I'll never even like like I work with my son a lot and he helps me produce the shows. We might let ourselves be proud of something for 30 seconds and then we're done with that because where I say pride cometh before the fall. I didn't make that up. You've heard that before, but I
Yeah.
believe in that. So I never try to be prideful. I never try to be arrogant, but I used to be when I was your age and past that. But
I
I
think
hope
I
I'm not
seen
like that anymore.
I think I seen your son. Was that him in the
Yeah, he
yeah,
just
yeah.
walked by. He was going
I
into our
almost
gym. We have a gym here in the salon. He was just walking by
I
to go
almost
into the
thought that
gym.
was you. Yeah.
Yeah, we people think we look a lot alike. Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, I feel you, and just something on a transparent tip, because I'm into entrepreneurship myself. I'm nowhere near, because I know this a journey, but I'm nowhere near where I think I should be. Um, just some transparency, because one thing, and I'm gonna ask you this because this is something that I still wonder. You ever felt like you were at a point of your life where something that you don't want is calling you, but something that something where you some place where you want to be deserves you. What I mean by that is maybe an old lifestyle or some old habits. Like for instance, you know they always say your 20s to your 30s is the most challenging times, the most character building times. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's so easy to, like I say, so easy to give up once you take a loss. But not saying I want to give up anything, but I do sometimes feel like those ways that I don't want to be can call me because it's so you're not that far away from you want pretty much like it's like missing a paycheck at work. You one bad paycheck away from the red, a one missed
Right.
paycheck away.
Yeah. I think, yeah, that's a tough question. I
Yeah,
think, I think we all have, let me see if I have this right. I think we all have had challenges,
yeah,
and I think we have lifestyle challenges that challenge us in business.
yeah,
I know I have, whether it be It could be lots of things. It could be partying. It could be, the opposite sex. It could be whatever. It's not the opposite. It just could be, relationships. It could be anything like that. But I think when you can find harmony with that, and there's a key word that I would say with any entrepreneurship. It's real simple, and I like to say this. It's not always hard. It's just extremely difficult.
Yeah.
I say this business isn't hard. It's just really, really difficult. And one of the most difficult things, and one of the things I try to instill in my students at my school, is the word discipline. And that's where sometimes we lack right now is discipline. And if you're an entrepreneur and you're writing checks for people and you're making decisions for people, man, you got to have a discipline in your life. You got to get up. You got to tie your shoes every day and get in there, get in early. You got to stay late. And when you're an entrepreneur, I'm the last guy to take a paycheck. I got to make sure everyone else gets paid first. But I find that, Jimmy, one thing that you'll rest assured at your age, entrepreneurship is really, really difficult. For me at 63, it's not as hard because, and they say the most successful entrepreneurs are like 55 and over, like 55 to 70, because usually entrepreneurs at that point, they have a little more financial balance, a little more financial wherewithal, and we certainly have more wisdom because we've made a lot of mistakes. I'm wiser than I was at your age because I made so many mistakes that I've learned from. Hope I learned from some. I had to learn 5 or 6 or 8 times. It's keep making the mistakes. But then also we have more connections. And for me, it's easier for me to be an entrepreneur to keep opening up these other companies because I have one company that I've worked at for 20 years. I've been a hairdresser 45 years that pays my bills. So I have that. I still work hard every day. I still do more hair than anyone else in all my companies. I still do more hair because that pays my bills. So that way I can speculate with the other things so I can get this. And then, you built the brand rodsickler.com or ID here in North America, or you're building national brands. So therefore you can branch out, you meet more contacts because this business leads to that. Oh, well, why don't we partner with this? Let's do this together. Or here's this real estate deal, or here's this. So at your age, just grind, buddy. You just grind it out right now, and things, more and more opportunities. When you work hard and you hustle and you grind it out, it's amazing how lucky you'll get. Luck's not luck. You create luck. You create luck through hard work, diligence, and discipline. That's what I say. And there will be opportunities for you. If you said something that hit me hard, character. If you build the right character, you stay away from the wrong things and focus on the right and stay disciplined, and you let that character build, you're going to make mistakes, but you're going to learn from that. And when you're my age, you'll be way more, I'm going to use the word success, even though I don't like it. You'll be way more successful than me. And I don't believe I'm successful. I think I have like 10 companies, but you know what? I'm still working every day. So I know billionaires. I know them well. And, to me, I guess they're successful, but, money's not everything either. What is success? Success might be that balance. I think you talked about that balance of have a good character, maybe having a good relationship, whatever, having good friends, family. Everyone's idea of success is something different. I think I know what mine is, or what makes you happy. Sometimes I don't even know what makes me happy. Maybe I do now because I really have a great wife. But I didn't even know what made me happy for years. All I knew was work, 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 and I guess that's what made me happy. That's what I knew. That's what
You knew
defined me was my job.
you knew what kept you going, and
Yeah.
it paid off, But Rod, this has been I can tell you, I'm gonna just tell you right now, this is no hot take, anything. It's probably been one of the most insightful interviews I ever given. Didn't have to pull any teeth. You got great wind in you, and it's been a
Thanks,
pleasure.
brother.
It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
You-
This interview was circled in my calendar. Great PR work from Sharon. So
Thank you. Sharon's wonderful.
it's just been
Yeah.
amazing.
And you know what I've learned too, Jimmy, with these, she gets these, and I do these, and I've been making some really good connections with people like you,
Yeah.
and like because I think we speak real, And I never ask her. I've learned to the point I don't ask what this is about. I don't
Yeah.
even know what you're going to ask me. I don't want to know because I want it to be real. I want it to be from the heart. I want it to be with passion. I believe in these things in my business, and I tell every employee um, four things I live by: art, do art to the best of my ability every day; service, give the best customer service I ever can. Because you're not giving customer service, you either have a bad attitude or you're lazy, right? And I don't stand for either of those. Art, service, passion. I can't teach passion. I can't teach work ethic. But man, I want to hire passion every single day that I can. I want to have passion every day I'm at work. And then safety. You know, you got to keep people safe in your establishments. We learned that through COVID. You know, that was the hardest time in business, COVID, keeping people safe. And we're one on one with people, making sure we abided by all the rules and the laws so that, you know, there was no vaccine. My mother died from COVID. I took it very seriously. So
Send the
those four things.
condolences to you, man.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend.
Condolences.
Art, service, passion, and safety, and just keeping it real. That's what we did today, Jimmy. We kept it real.
I
We didn't
got
talk
you.
before this. I hope we talk after this, though.
Absolutely. I surely will be in touch. But very quickly before this interview times out, I'm gonna definitely get your contact and keep in touch with you through sharing. But just I want you to plug your website, social media handles. We got like 1 minute. So
Yeah, go to rodsickler.com. It has everything. It shows you my go to redhotwinter.com. That will show you some of my show, and ID Hair Pro. idhairpro.com will show you what I'm doing. Those are the three main websites. Rodsickler.com can kind of take you to everything, or idhairpro.com. Rod Sickler will take you to the other stuff.
gotcha.
Rodsickler.com, real easy.
Gotcha. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the people that's watching this will be informed and definitely will tuned in. So I appreciate you so much, Rod, to
I
taking the time
appreciate
out of your
you.
day. But we will be in
Blessings
touch
to you,
moving
Jimmy.
forward.
Blessings. Thanks for your time today.